Does the icy wind bite at you and send chills through your spine? Are you frightened by the ghastly blackness that curdles the winter's air? Well, shut the door and come in. Come in and read a quartet of terror-filled tales that'll wipe the threat of wintry darkness from your minds. You'll have bigger worries. Come in and read 4 incredibly different dramas of suspense that bear the famous trademark of Chamber of Chills. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comics Corner. I am Mike, here with Johnny.
That was spooky as hell. Did you just make that up on the spot?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty good, man. I would have messed up after the first line.
You know, years of practice. But today we are reading Chamber of Chills, specifically Chamber of Chills issue number 19. Came out in 1953, published by Harvey. Harvey, also later known for like their little Richie Rich comics. They did the Casper the Friendly Ghost, so a bit off the path here. But after the Senate subcommittee of on juvenile delinquency, which basically created the Comics Code Authority, they kind of put the kibosh on Chamber of Chills because it was cited in the
kibosh? You just used up your swear this early on stream?
Sorry, I apologize. Yeah, put away the kids. I'm going to be using kibosh a lot.
One per stream, please. I was just repeating what you said.
I'm quoting it too. Yeah.
Now he's kiboshing all over the place. Holy cannoli!
But point being, it was pre-code horror comics like Chamber of Chills that created the Comics Code Authority that basically put a ban to some of the gore and violence that would happen in comics like these. Also, I chose this one because I knew that Johnny, a man of punk rock, would appreciate or catch the, well, not really reference. It's what's being referenced in the Misfits. What is it? Die Baby Die?
Yeah, Die
Baby.
Die.
You know, Glenn Danzig.
-5 punk rock points, Michael.
I'll win them back. Don't you worry.
Not a chance. Die My Darling,
Die, My
the
Darling.
Misfits song / LP has like a spoof of this cover.
It was
pretty
like
much just
black,
exactly
It was like
this.
the black and white, because that was the initial one.
It's cool. It's a cool picture.
But yeah,
cool
cool
image.
picture, and I figured what better way to kind of, you know, integrate that with our Halloween comics and horror comics that we're doing this month. Spoilers, it was better than Marvel Zombies, although low bar to beat.
It was better than that.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I'll give it that. But okay, yeah, well, let's dive into it, man.
Sure,
Let's dive into it like a shallow pool.
Before we dive into that pool, let me say real quick, what's up to Ben J, what's up to Mongo?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Exactly. I like to think that we're better than the presidential debates.
Oh, I'd like to know we are. Wait, so you guys got to keep track of something over the next few weeks. I started using eye cream for the first time in my life a few days ago. Probably no difference yet, but over the next few weeks, tell me if I look even more handsome than now. I know it's kind of hard to think I could even get...
I was going to say, it's a little unfair for everybody else.
Yeah, but you know, we're going to see what happens, so just throwing that out there.
We're doing regimens. We had salads today.
Dude, Pastimes, we're going to be the sexiest comic store in existence. You don't even understand.
I like to think that we're already there, but right now we're just kind of creating more of a gap.
We've been ordering healthy food. You know, actually, 2 of our employees actually are vegans. They're actually very healthy.
Yeah.
So we've been kind of taking a cue from them. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to get abs.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very fitting with Mongo's Tinder ad that we're talking about this. So
we're on Tinder?
That's
Pastimes. Find us live on Tinder.
That's why you got a Tinder ad, Mongo. It's because, you know, look at all this. Swipe right. Yes.
The only thing is, if you want to take us out, you got to buy a few books.
Exactly, I'm a cheap date. Just buy me a sweet pre-code horror comic and I'll...
Wait, come in. We'll go on a date with you. Pastimes Tinder. Oh, that'd be great, dude. You come and you buy a book and you bring us some pizza and we'll sit with you for 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. 6 feet apart, of course.
Oh yeah, and like we're each getting our own pizza. We're
Yeah,
not sharing
and
one
there'll
with
be,
you.
there'll be like
I don't know who you are.
A plastic partition between us.
And then think about that. You can come and talk to us live in person about these Chamber of Chills comics instead of watching on the stream. But for now, let's talk about it on the stream.
Yeah, Mongo, we're gonna have to start taking the show abroad, and we'll head on over to California. One, to say hi to our fans, but also two, to
Wait,
interview.
you got more stream?
Are you not logged in?
It was loading before.
Okay.
Okay.
Twitch sucks on phone. Can't even run it. Yeah, I used to get that a lot too, Mongo. Whenever I would like try and watch a stream on the phone, like some days it would work, some days it wouldn't. Maybe it's the fact that, as you pointed out, I put the wrong day of the week as our title. I have a notepad note where I just like copy and paste it, but I forgot to change. We're no longer on Wednesdays for comic book club book. A lot of books in there, but we are now on Thursdays. So going forward, it'll be Thursdays.
I actually feel very refreshed. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it felt good going home early yesterday. That felt weird. I got to go out to dinner with my girlfriend. We watched some game. It felt good.
So the inside baseball is, Johnny and I decided, to try and change it up a bit. Like one, to kind of get a break between the 2 days, or between the streams. Just to kind of, and also it spreads it out a little bit more. So because right now, as it lies, like a lot of our streams, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as it was, and now it's Monday, Wednesday, and then Thursday.
It's not Pastimes.
Exactly, yeah. So it's early week, but we gotta spread it out amongst the week, so you kind of.
Yeah, get your fill over the week. You don't want it all at one time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to
might feel cheated.
You don't have all of your dessert at the start of your meal. You spread it out throughout the meal. Is that how that analogy works?
Yeah, you take a bite of ice cream, eat your salad, take a few more bites.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, speaking of ice cream, I don't know if I've said this on this last irrelevant thing, then we'll talk about comics.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I used to do with Dairy Queen? I feel like I've said this on the stream before, is
Possibly.
I used to eat my ice cream in the walk-in freezer so it wouldn't drip. That was a smart idea.
So that's some high-level play.
Oh, you're damn right it is. Dude, you ever had a Blizzard that didn't get, soft as you ate it? No, but...
I can go on record saying I've never had anything inside of a meat freezer.
We didn't keep much meat in there, mostly dairy.
Exactly, yeah.
The queen of it. So, okay, I gotta tell you, man, and I know we talked about this last time, but for anybody that wasn't here, I'm all about collected editions and stuff.
Yeah.
This is one of the best presentations I've ever seen.
Yeah, so... I was gonna say, yeah, we kind of touched on it. Like going into it, it's basically like akin to like the Marvel facsimile versions. DC has similar renditions too. Where,
this is better, dude.
Yeah, like for them, what they would do is they take like a classic issue and they reprint it. But in the difference with the facsimile ones is they usually have like the ads and other stuff with it too. Like they like
I've lived a life better than most of our fans and you. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I've tasted the top, man. Apparently, and it's cold.
I don't even know if I've ever had anything like sticking my head inside the refrigerator.
Oh, foolish! My God, go make a sandwich tonight and eat it in the fridge. You know what I think? Wait, you know what I think of all the time?
Well, real quick to that note, I kind of did that last night. Like I couldn't get to sleep, and I was like, I'm hungry, so I basically went to the fridge, got a thing of Swiss cheese, just like a Kraft Singles almost type thing, and then like put some ham in between that and just had like a quick little cheese and ham like mini burrito.
No bread, watching his carbs.
Exactly,
See what I mean? We're getting healthy here.
Carbo loading here. But I had that, I think, I was standing like in front of the refrigerator with the refrigerator open because I couldn't be bothered to like take that anywhere else. So that's close. That's the closest I've ever had to your...
You know what I think of all the time though with refrigerators open is in that Simpsons episode where it's hot as hell and they don't have an air conditioner, so they like they open the fridge and like build a tent around it and they're like chilling in there. I always thought that'd be fun to do, but you'd run out the motor. But comic books.
Mm-hmm. Comic books are one motor that can never be run out.
This actually, like, the paper stock is different on what would be the covers because they're like actual covers as opposed to in the Marvel books.
Like paper.
Well, actually, I would say all the pages are like this in a Marvel book, so there's no real difference. But I like that the interior pages are very similar to a real comic book.
Yeah.
And the ink looks like it was like done on an old press.
It's a high quality scan, I assume, because there's a few pages where like there's kind of some imperfections, but that's just because that's just the copy that they were working with. Like I assume they get like whatever the best copy they could find, and do like a kind of reprint and maybe like a touch up from there. But
see, I wish the Marvel books were like a combination of this and what they do. See, I wish that the paper stock was like this on the.
Yeah, I mean,
I could do without the ads though. I like that they're in here, but like. No, I do, but like in my Marvel omnibuses, like if I could change one thing, like I'd have the paper stock be like this for the interior pages, and like the inks look like that, as opposed to.
Yeah, like the glossier, yeah.
Yeah, like for the covers, yes, but the interior pages should be like
I'm
on
with
this
you too,
flat
like-
page. But in an omnibus, I probably wouldn't like these. But I like letters pages. I know there's
There is. So
yeah.
so what I had quoted at the beginning was kind of like their inner circle, they call it. That's kind of their letters column. They didn't start that, it looked like, until issue 16.
Okay.
Where it's like the one before that was just like a hey, here's just our quote and here's us talking about. But then they started like having their address and like saying, hey, like, you know, write us, tell us what you thought about it. Because in this one they're referring to like issue number 16. Like, hey, you told us you liked this one, and this was your second favorite, like, of the 4 books and stuff like that. So like they kind of have at that point like not a full-on letters column, but like just kind of a hey, interact with us and we'll like respond to you or kind of post about it. So
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's responsible of you.
Yeah,
Are you actually
you're
gonna
like-
watch them though? Are you? Wait.
you're like 12. You don't need to watch them.
Oh no! Yeah, you can't vote yet. But when you are able to vote, you better vote every time you can vote, and you better vote in every election for every position. You better know what you're doing.
Much like
for now,
much
watch
like
this.
Mongo, consider this your history class and your history lesson. You know, like this is social studies. You don't need to worry about the debates. It doesn't matter what's going to happen there. What matters is the history of comics, because this is some interesting stuff we've got here, and it's horror themed, so it's on brand.
Halloween.
Exactly.
Bonfires burning bright, pumpkin faces in the night. So, the stories, although they're listed like this way, it actually.
Analyze this for school. Sorry, go ahead.
My God, let's get past the first page, boys.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the right thing. Yeah.
Man, I was going to share what I think, but then I was like, no, I shouldn't do that. We should not bring that into our stream, even though we have opinions.
Corner is apolitical.
I do think that you should vote, though, if you're of age. That I can say. That's a responsible thing. Who you vote for is up to you, but if you don't vote, you're wasting a privilege. So, do that. And do your research. So, we researched our comic books by reading this.
Good.
So, the stories actually go from this way up. So, like, the first story is Happy Anniversary.
Yeah.
It's like a pulp comic where there's just little stories and, like...
Yeah, they're anywhere from, like, 4 to, like, 6 pages.
Yeah, they're... Okay, so I'm going to start by saying that I thought these two were good. And these two were just awful.
Just awful, huh?
Just
Oh,
terrible.
man, we'll have some things to talk about, I guess.
What? This one would
Johnny,
be
I
maybe
don't-
slightly better.
You may remember my tabs from our smashed.
Oh yeah.
When we did the anthology with that. So when I read like this, whenever I have like anthology books, I've got these sponsored by Post-it notes. These Post-it note little tabs. They only come like this. I wish they just had like red, green, and yellow, and more of them. I don't need what am I gonna use a blue and orange for? Orange for caution. This one was okay. And then I've got my pen that I write on there, and I use it as like a color-coded thing of, you know, since they're usually like a handful of stories. Every once in a while, there's like a book where I'm like, all right, well, there's like 20 stories in here, but I only like 3, so I like to denote that. That way, I could just kind of, you know at a glance. Oh, hey, here's that one story that I talked about. What's up, Raidami? Yeah, exactly. Welcome to my history lesson on Post-it tabs.
Wait, I haven't said a word. Sticky notes, not they. Michael.
Exactly, yeah.
And his sticky
Yeah,
notes.
Raidami, that's weird. Mike is ranting about sticky notes for some reason.
Oh.
All input, baby.
Oh.
But point being, I was gonna say, Johnny, these are all green. I don't know if you're seeing this here. They're all 4 bangers.
Well, you must have a very low standard, because especially
kind
if
of do.
Well,
like
it's showing.
Like the TV one was yeah, it was kind of lame, but the ending I kind of dug. But yeah, point being, like every once in a while, it's like this issue is like mediocre at best, but there's like one small thing that I get hung up on and I really like. So I'm like, yeah, that was a great one. That's A+.
Okay, let's do this. All right, so this one called Happy Anniversary opens with this chick. Do we even get her name? I don't know if we do or not.
They do. They later mention it.
Okay, so she's like basically like preparing a meal in her kitchen and like talking into the living room to her husband, and like it's their anniversary, and she's
Yeah,
like, we've
10
been together for
10-year
10 long
anniversary.
years, and like
She's getting prepared.
and like talking about like she's reminiscing basically, and talking about how like it's so amazing. These are quick stories too. Like no It's the opposite of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Ain't no Dragon Balls here. So she's reminiscing and she's talking about how like it's amazing they're still together because like when they first what?
Wait, what? No. If anything, it's the other way around right now. I mean, one, in which way? Like, this is straight up like a Mike pick right here.
Yeah, what?
Also, right down me.
I'm about to mukbang over here and let you take over, dude.
Exactly. Yeah, right. I mean, why do you say that? But sorry, go ahead. Yeah, because they're reminiscing about their past, and she talks about like, oh, there was this time, years back where like you were gonna break it off with me, and like I thought
It's really
this was
awkward.
Yeah, like
Cause they're bad memories. All of them are bad memories.
And I saw the ending coming between even just the opening part. When she's just kind of like talking out into the living room.
There's no like
we
response.
never
really.
get a response, and she's like just like having this monologue, and like you said, like they're kind of traumatic and concerning red flag memories that she has. Like I said, like they're about to break it off, and he says that he's gonna stick with her just because she's she comes from money basically. Like she's sticking around for the money. It's fair enough, right now. I mean, use your freedoms.
So, basically, like in these like reminiscence, like he was gonna break up with her, and then he's like a scumbag. He's like, I'm gonna stay with you because of money, and then she's like, basically starts accusing him of like having an affair, and then she follows him, and he is having an affair, and then like. Which is kind of awkward because like she's still all about this dude and like I love you so much and like I don't know. Would you want to be with this guy if you were her?
I would not want to be with that guy.
He doesn't even look that handsome. Look at that coat. He looks like Harry Osborn.
Yeah, but that's like 50s handsome. Look at him. He's a family man.
He's literally dressed like Pee Wee Herman.
I was gonna say hold up. Yeah, that the pattern on that jacket and the bow tie. Hold up. I'm having second thoughts.
So.
Exactly. Yeah. Whoop, spoilers. He is.
So then, she has she catches him having the affair, and then like it cuts back to her like preparing the meal and basically just like, oh, you've been so loyal. I never thought you would have changed. Blah blah blah. You're so perfect. You'll never leave me. And then we see that like.
Yeah, she's talking to the corpse of her husband.
So she killed him basically, right?
So
is that what we took away from this?
This one is kind of ambiguous, but yeah. So my proof of it is in this panel here, where she's talking about like on the night of my wedding here. There was something that happened. I forget. Did you have it there?
I knew there would be more, Betty. Okay, I knew that you wouldn't lose your degraded taste for flashy women. That's why the night we were married. ...
And then she's like cuts herself off. But
that's enough of that
exactly,
unhappy, sordid past.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like what she trails off about is probably talking about how like on that she was married, maybe she killed him, like took revenge as part of that. So like they're kind of then at that point they're married forever. So he can't leave.
Like that's tears in her eyes.
My take. But then I was gonna say yes. Like she's also like this isn't like straight on crazy. Like it like the tear in her eye kind of like makes me feel like she kind of knows like what's going on and she's a bit like torn up by this. Like it's not just like crazy delirious like we're together forever. There's like some humanity there. Like again like a small thing of just her tear kind of made me think that. That's not her.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that little story there. That's it. That's it. It's like a little campfire story. Like that's the story. Like literally, that's it.
Even though I kind of saw it coming, I thought it was still fun just to see it to wrap it up. And like I said, like, the fact that it's kind of like left a little bit open and there's some interpretation that you could do there, I think adds to that. But maybe it's just me.
So you think she killed him though?
I think so. I think it's kind of implied there, but.
How do you think she killed him? Do you think she poisoned him?
I was gonna say like it wasn't like there's no like overt like gunshot wound or anything like that, but after 10 years of decay, I guess it's tough to tell. So
good point. Damn, pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there was this little snippet.
Yeah,
here.
They
there
have
was
like these
nothing.
little, there's like these like little essays and like just snippet stuff, just kind of like fun little stuff. Whether you like it or not, but
I didn't really.
Not really part of the main thing. Yeah, like, it's like this one's just like the chilly chamber music they call it. It's like, hey, here's just a song about like a ghost and a ghoul that are in love. It's a little one shot, like little throw off. It's like okay.
It's basically like the back one of those cards.
That was cool. All right, next. Yeah.
So Okay, what the hell is wrong
Yes,
with you?
yes.
There was this TerraVision. It's awful.
So-
Like, I don't get how you could even think there's anything redeemable
So
about
good.
this story. No, what? 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 This is redonkulous. This story has no... Okay. What, does it make you feel uncomfortable? Is that why you like it?
No, it made me laugh. It was so hokey. Also, one of the things that I like that they kind of do here is like they have like this like almost like one image like trailer or kind of like a thing that's coming up, which is funny because like these are like 6-page horror stories, so it's funny to see like, hey, here's like in the middle of like the action, like what's happening in TerraVision, and then it kind of starts off. Oh, Mongo, it's me. I would. So no offense to anybody else here, but like, Johnny, you don't really play video games, right? Like,
I mean, I got excited over beating that Tiger game. Were
okay,
you
yeah,
here on
exactly.
Tuesday?
Well, I was gonna say, like, look, down at that corner, under the chat, we've got Johnny's high score for the Tiger Electronics game. So Johnny does play video games, but he doesn't play Super Smash Brothers. I guarantee that I could beat Royce in Smash. I could beat Davis in Smash. I could beat Zach in Smash. Nick is the only question. Nick, I feel
He's
like
the wild card.
Nick, I feel
Nick's
like-
the wild card.
I feel like Nick does like wave dashing and
Thank
he
you,
and he
Jared.
could like frame count. Like I feel like I'm good without being like great. So I could definitely. Also, Mongo, who do you think I would main? Are we talking Smash like Melee? Are we talking original 64? Are we talking like current Wii Smash?
What are we talking?
Either way, I have literally like I think 400 hours, 500 hours on my buddy's Wii U when we had Smash. Oh yeah. Don't worry, right now, I gotcha.
Wouldn't it? Is that video game you're best at? What's the like? What could you like beat anybody at? Is it
That's not
Smash?
really the one that I'm like best at, but
So
it's one
what
that
is it?
I've played a lot of hours. I don't know. I don't think I have one where I'm like necessarily good. Like
I'll pick one.
with me in video games, hell yeah, right, Dami, my man. Yes, I do main Kirby. I main Kirby since the first one, but like I play a lot of video games. Is the thing is like I don't really have like I'm not really one to get like caught up on like one video game and just like stick with that for like life or like have that be my main thing. Like I'm pretty adept at a lot of video games. I think it's like master of none, but pretty good at, especially fighting games. Like if we had a night of Smash Bros and like Marvel vs. Capcom and like maybe Street Fighter, I could probably school a lot of people here. But again, except for Nick. Nick is actually like Nick plays a lot of video games and is actually like really smart. So I feel like he'd be the one where I could probably have trouble with. But everybody else, handily, Mongo.
Jesus, he's talking shit over here.
Prove me wrong. Like
Okay,
so wait,
I'm not challenging you. This guy's ready to kick my ass
Exactly,
over
yeah,
something
I'm
I
just-
never
I'm just
said I'd
looking-
be good at.
This is yeah. Forget the debates. It's gonna be who wins, Johnny versus Mike. It's funny that you mentioned that too because back when we would like have events and like open table space, we actually had a few people who would like bring like a CRTV and like their GameCube and like just straight up like play Smash on at our store, which was cool.
That is cool.
Getting to like watch that like so we could probably like set up on the TV there like
Dude,
Smash.
we gotta get that damn Toonami rolling.
And we do. We gotta get
24/7
that-
Toonami
get that
aftermath.
damn Smash rolling. Yeah, Raidami, maybe one of these days, like we've talked about, like introducing like some more stream stuff. You know, we've normally kept it to like stuff that's related to the store in terms of like, you know, we had a Magic the Gathering stream, you know, we have a Pokemon stream, we have a comic stream. Since we don't really sell or do much with video games, like that's where it gets a little bit.
We should have a snack stream.
But I feel like there's nothing wrong with obviously having like a hey, here's like the pastime staff doing like, you know, not necessarily related things. But man, oh, now I definitely want a Smash stream.
We should play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Hell yeah! Like not even competition, just like watching you play. Or
Not me only. I
or
I wouldn't want that.
If,
That'd be
if I'm
boring.
playing, you could tell me about like the bands that are on the soundtracks. I feel like
I
we-
could probably
we
tell you a
definitely-
lot about
like,
the bands on those soundtracks. That's actually a very
Talk
valid
about the
thing.
Superman song.
Oh, Goldfinger? Did you
Why
see
not?
all the quarantine videos they were doing? Also, Mike Herrera is their bass player now. The guy from MXPX.
Coming out.
Yeah, I just would want to play for the hell of it. It'd be a fun game. Classic nostalgia. That'd be cool. We'll get the new version, the new 1 and 2 combined.
Yeah, that's a good point, right, Dom. Yeah, we gotta work for your bits and for your subs. Man, but
We should eat subs on stream from Manelli's.
Yeah, subs with subs. The Sunday subs with subs. Sub
See.
day. No, right on me. I already had my coffee. But this is whoa, this is some Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink.
Smash.
But wait, no, yeah. But right on me. So the problem is like, without us like getting like a capture card, I think it would literally just be like this camera, like pointed at like the TV from a distance, so it would be almost like over our shoulder watching us play, which I think could still work. But like, you know, we wouldn't have like a sweet setup of like, oh, like capture card, like getting it ripped directly from there for the stream. But I think it'd still be fun. We could have like a almost like I think it would basically be this setup here of like, here's the two players and then here's Smash happening, and oh, what's that?
I am a player.
Kirby is dunking. You know it.
You know who else are heavy? Wait.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good point. Right. I'm gonna try and bring it up with game boards. What do you mean? Board games? Game boards?
Dyslexia?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, dude.
Yeah, just like if you watch.
Were you on that Pokemon stream? Is that what you're referring to?
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Like that would basically.
Oh,
be like,
I got more books to bag and board. Hell yeah! I got some Wolverines. I got X-Men. I can
at
bag
that
and board
point,
the
it's
shit out
basically
of
like
those.
every like early 2000s like Evo and like fighting game championship stream where it's like where it's just like here's just a face cam of the dudes playing and then like a shot from the audience of just everybody screaming in the background as like they film like a CRTV in the front. Yeah, that'd be so good. Oh man, we gotta.
Except the audience would be like the sporting events now, where it's just a bunch of cardboard
Exactly.
cutouts and like
That'd be
filtered
good.
in crowd noise
Picture of Johnny in the background.
in all different poses.
Exactly. Yeah. Johnny is the audience.
The Wolverine one.
But then you're also there. You're physically also sitting there
yeah.
among your cardboard cutouts.
But each time like the camera pans back, I'm in a different spot in a
Yeah.
different outfit. Like which one's the cardboard cutout? We don't know.
There's no way of knowing.
This one's for you.
Board games.
Morph.
Yeah, right on. We actually do plan on doing more board game stuff. Come November,
How's Charlie?
Davis and I probably watching the debates to be honest. Poor choice by the way. But the board game stuff we've already done a few streams of, and we're probably gonna keep doing more. Come November, Davis and I plan to do a lot more board game streaming if we can. Right on me, I
Forgot about
that's gonna be your tier 3 sub emote. But yeah, we definitely have done and will do more board games. The problem is trying to find a set date for it, because Davis is probably be the one that I'd be doing it with, and like we have to try and like match our schedules, and like, you know, he can't, like Johnny and I like do these ones because like we don't care about staying late. Other people do.
Wait, we don't?
I'm
Kidding.
But
No, I like being here a lot, actually.
but yeah, like so it's a matter of trying to like match up the schedules to some degree, which is, you know, can be hit or miss. But otherwise, yeah, like we definitely have the plan to like try and roll out more board game, card game, dice game streams, and maybe we could sprinkle in a video game here or there. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Sonic the Hedgehog
taking
2
bets.
and Tetris.
I'll definitely keep that. I'll keep that code in mind, Mongo. When I do, I'm probably I'm gonna have to name the emote MB then. To be fair though, like if you tilt your head kind of, it looks like the MB itself. So. So TerraVision is awesome because it's stupid, but it's stupid in a way that I could get behind.
Okay, explain what the hell's going on in
Okay,
this
so
story.
yeah, like it goes off from the start. So we've got these two dudes. They work at like a television, like basically like repair shop, or there's some sort of like engineers to some degree. This dude comes in and he says, "Hey, there's like a $10,000 like prize from whoever can make the first color TV." So these guys get to work. They start making a TV. This guy's like,
Is The Wizard of Oz the first movie to be in color?
I think so. I think that's why they had that transition from Kansas to Oz. I don't know if it's the first though. That can't be right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Somebody look that up.
That sounds about right, but I could be making it up or misremembering. But so
That
the
should
guy,
be your stage name.
Misremembering? Exactly.
Like I'm Asperian, remember. I love it.
So this guy is working on making the TV. He's already like a day into it, and like apparently his like shadow disappears because of like the television waves. Like this is like some very
Classic television
I was
waves.
gonna say this is some great like 1950s like B movie like sciencing that's happening of like oh the television waves, my shadows disappeared.
Television could be coming
Um,
for you.
so then they're still working on it. They turn it on to see if it's working. I know, like who would watch TV? Why? Like we're watching internet TV right now. Like you don't need to watch it. Look at this CRTV. Like they could be playing Smash on this bad boy. No frame loss.
Dude, my whole like salve thing just broke off.
I
on my
saw
lip.
like
I'm
when
sorry,
you
everybody.
uncorked
That was
it.
not on purpose. That was a lot of chapstick.
It's just a glob of chapstick.
Well, I'm gonna have some moist ass lips. All right.
Just get it all in there.
Oh my God. What else am I gonna do with it?
Can't let that go to waste.
No, you're coughing it.
So they turn it on and like these these like waves are coming out, like these circles of color, and then tentacles kind of come out, and they grab at them. They try and like chop off the tentacles with an axe.
Don't work though, because
but
they're
yeah,
fourth dimensional
they-
tentacles.
Spoilers. They like go invisible and it passes through. So they grab both of them and they get ripped into the TV into another dimension. And in this dimension, these are these sentient beings. I forget what they're called, but these like weird little like octopi are in this dimension, and they say like, hey, finally, you third dimensional third dimensional beings have opened up a portal into our world. We're gonna come on through and like take over your world, conquer it, et cetera, our usual stuff. But we need you to make more TVs for us so we can kind of jump into there.
It is like some
I was gonna say it's very Twilight Zone. Also, like all that's going on here, like this other dimension seems very like Doctor Strange to me, like of the like very colorful
That I'll
like,
give
other
you.
dimensions where like here's a bunch of just like colors and.
Is that your
shapes
one thing to
happening in the
cling on to
background.
why you like it?
Kind of. That's
You
one of the
jackass.
things. But no,
It's okay. You're allowed to have an opinion.
It gets better though. So
Oh,
they're in
I
here,
know it does.
and they grab another dude and pull him through. They grab this dude and they pull him through, and they feed him into this like weird matter machine to say like, oh hey, like third dimensional energy is like what powers us and like keeps us alive, and like they use it for just energy. You're gonna make more TVs for us so we could have like more points of entry and like more ways to steal you people. And they're like, oh, we're not gonna do that. They're like, are you sure about that? They start torturing them by like barraging them with sound waves, pressure, heat, like colors, and eventually they're like, all right, fine, I give up. We'll make more TVs for you. And then like a kind of fugue state, like a tortured and like kind of slowly going crazy state, they make another TV, and they turn it on. But what's this? It's not a TV to the third dimension. It's a TV to the fifth dimension. And from this fifth dimension comes out this like molecule-looking monster that just like comes out, and he's like, oh, finally, a portal to the fourth dimension. We can steal you fourth dimensional beings and use you for matter. So it's just
That's the story.
it's so good because it's just like this weird like layers upon layers of just every higher dimensional being just wants to like capture and like use for energy these lesser beings.
BS. The third dimensionals. We weren't going into the second dimension.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
We
like,
were going into the second dimension.
Yeah, we didn't start.
We're not there.
Exactly. Yeah, fourth
Yeah,
and
exactly.
fifth dimensions. You guys are on notice, but yeah, like this orb or this molecule just like grabs the octopi dudes from the fourth dimension, and just like whisks them away to the TV, and these guys are just kind of like left scratching their heads, like, well, we just wanted to make $10,000 on this TV, but here we are. I mean,
And
to
you
be fair,
love
like,
that.
right, Dami, like this molecule,
Skylar,
in the fifth dimension, like that could be like a model for all we know. Like you don't know what a fifth dimensional being looks like. You don't know what the fifth dimensional
Yeah, that's an
being
8 out of 10 in Dimension
standard
5.
standard of beauty is. Like to me, that's pretty. Look at those curves, right, Dami.
Dude, 7, 8 circle things.
Damn, girl, you must have 8
Loaded.
curves.
So for some reason, Mike gave that the same level
what's up?
of green
What's
as
up,
the first
Skylar?
story. How the hell is that even possible? That was such garbage. You can't even get through the story without laughing at how bad. Look at you. You're like choking on your laughter.
I know. That's what that is, Johnny. That's entertainment. That's value. I
But-
paid.
oh my
my
God.
what is it? 15. Can we go to the cover? I want to see how much it actually ran for. Did they say like 15 cents?
10 cents.
10 cents. I paid my dime to the man at the newsstand, and look at me going home having a good chuckle. What a good time.
Charlie, he's using your name in vain again.
Chuck
You're not even here to defend yourself. Oh God. I can't wait to find out what the hell you like about this story. Garzan the Magnificent.
Johnny, you remember Tarzan? What if he was called Garzan?
Let's find out. So this story is about basically an actor who plays Garzan.
Yeah, it was so weird that the actor's name himself is Garzan, but he's playing a Tarzan-esque character named Garzan. Yeah, that part I didn't get. I don't know why that was necessary. Like that felt like just some very like phoning it in kind of writing, which to be fair, that's a lot of these. But sorry, go on.
No, and like basically what they're doing is they're showing how like all of his stuntmen get hurt on scene.
Yeah.
Or like on
They're doing very Tarzan-esque stunts of like, hey, they're like swinging on
what's
vines.
the word
they're,
I'm
like,
looking on set? Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
they're like diving into like waterfalls, jumping off cliffs. They're like
Fighting snakes.
They're nearby
fighting
animals.
crocodiles.
But you know, the stuntmen are getting hurt because like Garzan is like demanding like, no, I want more realism. Like get closer to that alligator next time. Like you know, do a better jump when you're like diving off that cliff, right? Like that kind of stuff. And in the, you know, because this is like the 50s, you know, there's not that many safety standards. People are getting hurt, and he's just like, all right, you know, this stuntman's hurt. Give me another one. He wasn't good enough. Keep going.
So then, like, one day he's, like, leaving the set, and, like, one of the old stuntmen approaches him and is like, how about a few bucks? Like, I'm hurt, I'm out of work. And, like, you find out that a couple of them are in the same boat.
It's like, find another job, kid.
Yeah,
It's
he's
not my
basically
problem.
a jackass.
Yeah.
So then, that's enough of these love scenes. Mustn't let my lips become too puffed.
Is that Johnny's? Oh, I needed your chapstick.
Yeah, my lips are too puffed from all the love scenes here on the Comics Corner. That's what I get for reading your book. So, then, like, during, like, this, like, day of shooting, like, the stuntman this day breaks a vine and he falls and breaks his, well, the vine snaps and he falls and breaks his back,
Yeah,
Batman style.
Yeah, so like they were the plan was like to have him like scale a cliff using this rope. Like the stuntman manager was like, hey, like this is like that rope isn't strong enough, it needs to be reinforced. It's not gonna work. Like it's too dangerous. Garzan's like, whatever, man, just do it. Like, you know, you're a stuntman.
I am Garzan.
Just do your job. And you know, like they have to like, you know, reluctantly do it, and in doing so, like the rope broke as expected. The stuntman falls. Yeah, like he lands flat on his back. He's paralyzed for life. And Garzan is like, oh, that's a bummer. All right, just get another stuntman, and you know, tomorrow we'll shoot it again.
Johnny's chapped lips. Oops, they're still here.
No word jar.
I don't know what word I said.
I write down me. That comes at the end of the stream. Remember? You gotta save the best for last. But yeah, so the stuntman, you know, falls off. You know, is paralyzed for life. It's a tragic thing. Garzan doesn't care. He's like, yep, get another stuntman. We'll worry about it tomorrow. And after shooting again, once again, Garzan is trying to go to his car and head home. But as he's like driving away, you know, a group of guys get in front of the car. They block him. Turns out they're more of the stuntmen that got hurt. They're like, hey man, you're gonna come with us. Like they get in the car, they like, you know, get into the driver's seat, and they silently drive back to the movie lot. They take him out. They're like, hey, here, put on your Garzan clothes and get into the middle of this set. He's like, you're not gonna hurt me, are you? You know, you're not gonna kill me. He's like, no, we're not gonna do anything. We just want you to have put on, you know, we want very realistic action with these animals. So it's implied there that Garzan is about to get eaten and mauled by. What, we got some alligators, we got a panther, we got a gorilla, and I like how they toss him a knife though. Like I feel like that's one of the things that I liked is
A dagger, not a knife.
They're fair with him.
Yeah, that's fair.
They get.
Why did you like this stupid story? That's it. Again, that's the end of the story. Boom, story over. Why did you like that? Just tell me why. Make me understand. Explain.
I felt bad for those stuntmen, and they got revenge, Johnny. That's what it's all about. That guy, Garzan, bad guy. Stuntmen, they were just doing their job, man, and they got some level of revenge.
You know what? They should have gone to school and gotten an education and been directors, and then they wouldn't have to be doing stupid stuntman shit.
But they like it. Like I feel like these guys, like they were doing it because like it's a job that they liked, but also they're like, you know, hey, like we want to be, you know, doing things.
You think I like going through DC books every week? No, not every week. You think I like going through Marvel books every week? Hell yes, I do.
Okay.
Every week.
But what if you got like a very severe paper cut during that, and I said, sorry, we can't pay for your bills. Just get me a new Johnny.
Okay, first off, you mother.
Exactly. You see. I am now. You're seeing what they're.
You think you could replace me here in the comics corner? Are you kidding me?
Let's find out.
Oh
right
my
now,
God.
Johnny, you're out.
I'm gonna
right
find
now.
my long
You're
lost
in.
son with the Force, and we're gonna overthrow you.
I'm gonna fly Mongo in from California to be the replacement Johnny. There we go. I could be Johnny since Mongo.
Okay. All right.
See,
I'll remember
now-
that next week when previews
I was
come
gonna
out.
say, cut to next week. I'm walking into my car and Johnny's blocking the car. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to go home. You get in the car and then you I don't know.
We're going back to the comics corner.
You throw me into a ring with a knife and just a bunch of comics.
Paper cut you to death.
Exactly. Yeah. See, there we go. There's our pre-code horror comic.
Not liking the Thursday stream at all.
Something about the energy is off.
I feel like everyone's picking the hell out of me for some reason. I came here, I read the book. I was prepared. I'm like, it's one of Mike's books, and then the whole stream, Johnny's getting picked on.
Hey, welcome to every time I make a minor mistake.
I believe it.
I get razzed. Cut to the MV emote. Speaking of getting razzed on stream.
Dude, you do have a sweet ass. All right. I actually thought this one was the best.
Sorry, not MVHR after that comment. Yeah, so Black Passion, yeah, this was actually another pretty cool one. I liked, speaking of stories of revenge.
Yeah. So, Elvira, too.
Yeah, Elvira, yeah, it's a great name.
Yeah. So, this dude, Jason Wilton, I feel like you get the most background with this one, too.
Yeah, this one actually,
Give you a
there's
setup.
kind of some depth, yeah.
Yeah, so this guy, Jason Wilton, has this wife, and, he basically, ignores her because he starts going out to, the nightclub. He's like, I want to go out. I don't want to eat at home. And, he starts going out and makes friends out at this bar, basically. And so he's staying out every night. And then eventually, lo and behold, meets another woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they clearly have the hots for each other. So he starts having an affair. And, every night he goes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one night, Elvira, whatever, is like, I'm going to go with you. And he's like, no, hogwash. You're not going with me. It's too late for that. And, goes and, has this affair. And then, comes home and sees Elvira sleeping. And for some reason, kind of has, a change of heart. He's like, oh,
Yeah,
I have this loyal wife.
Yeah, he sees, the look of, sadness on her face. And he's between, that and the moonlight, something about it just kind of clicked. And he realized, he's been treating her wrong. It wasn't that he no longer loved Elvira. It's more that he just kind of grew bored of her, and this new woman represented almost new passion, something like that. Something it sparked something in him. But then he realized, yeah, what am I doing? I'm I have a loyal wife at home. I'm gonna tell my my mistress we can't be doing this anymore. I'm breaking it off. I've got a loving wife. I've never told you that. I'm married, and we're gonna have to end it there. Also, what's up, Alex? Thanks for coming by.
And yeah, so he tells this wench that he has to end it, and she blackmails him, which is why I think it's called Black Passion, because she goes to blackmail him. She's like, look at this look of hatred. That is some good facial expression.
Exactly. What?
It's you scumbag.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you want to break it off with me? All right, yeah.
$5,000, and he's like, what? You know I don't have that money. That's a lot of money.
I was gonna say, because I love in an earlier scene, the club that he's at, the work club that he's at, he's playing a poker game. He's like, I'd love to come home, but I'm up $10. I can't go home. That's $100 back then.
It's true. It's a lot of money back then.
Then.
She's like 5,000 G's, and he's like, what? No way. And she's like, I'm gonna blackmail you. And so he starts choking her to death.
Oh, you want blackmail?
And
here you go. Just
he kills her.
To death. Yep.
So he kills her. And so then
drives off, dumps the body in the
a regular old murderer, just wraps her up, throws her in the river off the dock.
Yeah.
And then here's the twist. He gets back home and he sees that there's a light on, and he figures, oh, Elvira just fell asleep with the light on. Comes inside, sees another man over her, and he's like, run away with me, darling. And she's like, yes, whenever you say. She was having an affair. Do you think she was so? Do you think she was having an affair the whole time?
Not the whole time. This is again,
I agree.
My sympathy for Elvira. I feel like she had the affair in response to all this because this was going on for I think a month or two, a couple months, an extended period of time, where she was getting kind of treated poorly, and realistically, if she's not feeling, thank you, yeah, exactly, Alex. If she wasn't feeling the love from her husband, she might have thought that he was looking elsewhere, so maybe she started looking elsewhere, and this man is actually nice to her. She wants to run away with him. Uh, some real irony of they both could have just ran away with their mistresses and maybe both been happy, but instead
he killed
now
her.
he's a murderer, and oops, my wife is cheating on me.
With a twist.
Welcome to horror comics.
So yeah, basically that's a Twilight Zone episode.
Exactly,
Then we got
yeah.
some muscle ads,
Hell yeah.
some more horror stuff, I think. Calamity Town by Ellery Queen.
Hell yeah. Give me
And
some
that's
of that.
it, man.
Yeah.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah, that's what
Murder.
that's a twist.
The clock.
But yeah, so basically we just had a sign for this week, issue 19. I read a handful of all these other ones at the beginning. Did you read any of the earlier ones, or not? You just kind of dipped in. If you want to go back to the start, I could kind of maybe run you through some of them if you want. Let's see.
Which one? This is the green ones.
Go back to the first one. So this one is Cycle of Horror. It was yeah, man, what a cool image. Go to the front, the cover page too. Let's get a look at that bad boy. That rat eating foot. Hell yeah, just got some Chamber of Chills. I'll throw a newsman a dime for that. Dropping a dime on it. That's what that saying means.
I guess so. It's all about them horror comics.
Exactly. So we've got this guy. I think they had like robbed a bank, or no. He came up on. Turn the page. Yes. So this guy. He runs up on him and his buddy. They run up on this old dude that's walking down the street at night, who's looking pretty rich, and these guys are looking pretty shabby. So they murder this old guy for his money, and they run off into an alleyway. They find like a nearby hotel, and like set up in there for the night to like count their loot and distribute it. But this guy, Green Hat Man, he's like, yeah, I'm not sharing this with you. Like I did all the work. Like you didn't do anything. Like it's like hell I didn't. And they get into a fight. Green Hat Man kills his partner. And leaves him basically, to die and rot in the hotel room as he's getting, like, eaten alive by rats. So the guy's like, all right, well, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to head out elsewhere. He goes to another hotel room, but when he goes into the hotel down the street, he opens up the room that he was going to stay in, and here's his buddy's body. And he, like, freaks out for a moment. He's like, oh, crap, I must have, doubled back to the first hotel in my, state of kind of delirium. And accidentally walk back into the room. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to go to my sister's apartment, who's, on the other side of town. She goes into his sister's empty apartment because she's out of town on, like, vacation. He goes into her apartment. In the bedroom, there's his buddy, dying and rotting on the bed again. So one more time, he leaves the apartment and goes to, like, the fanciest, like, like Ritz-Carlton hotel. He's got all this extra money now from the guy that he killed, so he's like, well, nobody here thinks I belong here, but whatever. I've got the money to pay for it. They could, sit and spin. So he gets a seat, or he gets a hotel room at this fancy place, and he, goes again to his next room. And even in this fancy hotel room, like, he can't escape the every room has his buddy rotting on the bed, just to kind of like haunt him. And he turns to like the bellhop, and the bellhop basically tells him, yeah, you're in hell from your crimes. Like when you guys got into the fight in the original hotel room, his buddy shot at him, so he was kind of like bleeding out, and it turns out he had died from that bullet shot, and he is now in hell, reliving like the most traumatic moment of his life. So it was a pretty cool like little short story, and also just some great imagery, which honestly that's most of these. Oh man, this one got a yellow, so now we're getting the ones that I wasn't too big on. What is this? The Curse of the Black Panther, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Well, one, man, this some great looking panthers. Like, put that up. Can you bring that up a little bit closer? I want to see like that one in particular. Yeah, Alex. I mean, so I don't know if you're familiar with like it's called like pre-code horror. Like these are horror comics. A lot of them are this anthology style of, as you mentioned at the beginning of this, like they're anywhere from like 5 to maybe 7 pages. Like they're not that long. They're, even though they are kind of like text heavy in some ways, like they kind of move pretty quickly. So they're not very time intensive to read, but they just have a bunch of these like small. Yeah, exactly. that's the thing is like it's actually like a pretty cool story. But and also Alex, like one of my main like these are comic books that I kind of like probably like the most. Like like if it's like Marvel, DC, I'm like nah man, EC Comics because I like all these horror comics and just these crime-based ones. Because also there's some just great art in them,
I do like the artwork.
and like I feel like it's pretty timeless. Like these were these issues in particular like were from the 1950s, early 50s, from like 52 to 54, and like it still holds up today. Like this is great color work, great just inking and line work. The dialogue can sometimes be obviously very dated, but that's to be expected. And I don't know. I think it adds a level of charm to it. And yeah, like again, like for a very short story, and like me basically paraphrasing it, it was a pretty neat concept for that one.
Yeah, that one was decent.
The Black Panther one, not as good.
I'll give a quick synopsis.
All right. So this girl and her sweetheart are like coming back from like a moonlit walk one night to head to their her father's house. As they get closer, there's like a howl and like a scream coming from the house. They go inside and their father is being attacked by a panther, just in the middle of their suburban house.
Okay.
They eventually scare the panther out, but the dad had been like attacked and is kind of like dying, and his dying breaths, dying for a long time because he gives like here is
Quite a monologue.
Exactly, yeah. Like the next like 4 pages are him monologuing about oh, you're 21 years old now. I didn't have. You're finally old enough to tell you. That panther attack wasn't random. Here's what happened. When I was a young man myself, 21 years ago, I was wandering in the Grand Canyon in Death Valley. I got lost. I came upon this cave, like in my like delirious state. I fell down, and at the bottom of the cave, there was this man and this woman, and they were like these like cavemen, and they nursed me back to health, and they kept me alive. And it turns out they're panther people. They have the power to turn into panthers at at a full moon, like very werewolf style, but for panthers. And they're basically the last of their kind, except for one other panther, like Xanthar, and he's the bad panther, and he's going to like take their child that they have and like marry her and live with them, and they don't want that. So like they're like, you have to protect our daughter, and you've got to make sure that she's okay. So the father, he takes the daughter, and the 2 panther people are attacked by Xanthar and they die, and gonna get a hip twist. So they go, oof, you could hear that one. So it turns out, yeah, the daughter is part panther, and on her 21st birthday, her abilities like become real. And it's a full moon at night, and Xanthar shows up. That was the panther who attacked the father, and she tries to defend the boyfriend against Xanthar, and they get into a scuffle, and both of them bleed out and die, and now it's just as sad. He has to carry away the body of his wife, or his like fiance.
Lenore?
Because now they both died. Yeah, exactly, Lenore.
That seems pretty okay.
And I mean that very loosely.
Cool art though. Look at that panther though.
Yeah, it's a panther.
That panther should be an emote. So it's kind of like the Lion King. Yeah, exactly, Alex. Waxman. Waxman was so good. We've got another, man, a lot of these are about like criminals and like getting their just desserts. So we've got a dude who is breaking into the house. What was this? This was like colonial era, or like back in the past. I forget when they say it was started. Like,
300 years ago.
Yeah, like a Revolutionary War, like scientists. Like the guy breaks into the house, like looking for like gold plates and like gold candlesticks, like steal and make money off of. But the guy who owns the house, the scientist, like he catches him, like so they get into a scuffle. The thief stabs him and kills him, and he's like, oh crap, like, people get hung for this. Like I got to get out of here. But as he's going out, something catches his eye. It's this elixir that says, what was it? It's like, who would want to live forever? Like this elixir will basically like let you live for 500 years. But the note says, like, I don't have the heart to do that. Like, I wouldn't be able to stand living that long. But the thief's like, hey man, I don't care. I'll live however long that I want. And he just quickly, chugs down the elixir. And then it turns out he's able to stay alive. Like as he's getting older and older, his body is kind of changing at even a kind of decreased pace. But like internally, he feels very young and he's like energetic and running around. But he is like 100 years old, 200 years old, 300 years old. So his body is now like this very decrepit looking skeleton and flesh, and he's like scaring people as he just walks down the street, even though like internally he feels like he's still like 30, 40 years old. Yes, exactly. If you live forever, you'll watch everyone you love die. But this guy doesn't really love anybody. He just kind of is in it for the money to some degree. Like he's just living because he wants to. So what he does is
oh my God.
He breaks into this wax museum, and the guy who makes the wax sculptures, he holds him up, like he holds him for hostage, like he takes a knife to him. He's like, hey man, I'm tired of like looking like this creepy skeleton. Your wax sculptures are so realistic. What I want you to do is I want you to make an outside, basically like, what would you call it, like wax sculpture for me, but I want you to model it after the richest guy in town. Like who this guy is? He's like, yeah, make it after him. He's handsome, and he's rich. So the guy makes, if you could pull that one a little bit closer, he turns this like mummified looking guy into this handsome, here, let me hold that there, into this handsome guy from town. And right after he does that, he kills the wax sculptor. And what he does is he hunts down the rich guy that he's now looking like and kills him. So he's like, all right, well now I look like, and to everybody's knowledge, I am the richest guy in town. Yeah, prosthetic body. Thank you, Alex. And he fools everybody, including the like the hired help, like the maids and servants. But what he doesn't know is apparently this rich guy, he has his bedroom set up to have like a steam bath every morning. Like they just like send like hot steam into the bedroom, and they're like, I don't know why he does this, but he says it helps him, and he feels better. So he's awoken. Our anti-hero is awoken to these hot vapors coming through the room, and it's melting all of the wax on his body and like burning him alive. He says on the inside, and he runs out. He's like, oh, I'm dying. I'm burning alive. Help! And he tries to run out. And it's ambiguous how it ends, because here we see like splattered on the ground is like the melted body, like of the wax body, but like there's no dude, there's no like skeleton, there's no corpse. So like I don't know if the guy made it out alive or not.
No,
but,
he's dead. That's him there.
But is that him or is that just the wax? That's
he's
what
dead.
I.
The
are
wax
you sure?
melted him.
How do you know? Where's Johnny? Where's his body? Regardless, the tragedy here is like these poor like servants just like they think that
cops are gonna think they melted their master.
Exactly. Well, also just like the trauma of
Master
like
melters.
of like going into like the dude's room and like seeing just a puddle of dude in the middle of the
puddle of dude.
That's our band
Bro,
name.
I know that is totally our band's name, 100%.
Dude.
A puddle of dude.
But yeah, like that was just
Sad Sack
a
Records.
wild one, because like they don't know that their that their master was like killed earlier, like in the day or early in the week. Like they're just like, oh man,
We
how
know.
wild is this? So most of these stories are about payback. Yeah, like Alex, like that's the thing. It's like a lot of them, the bad guys don't really win, or if they do, it's kind of ambiguous. Like, but a lot of it is like kind of just reward, just desserts for these people. Because this guy was a thief and a killer. This one's kind of meh, but the monster looked cool.
Yeah.
All right, so there's one that I just straight up didn't like.
I don't want to
that
know
was
about the
Amnesia.
octopus. Yeah. All right, let's see what this amnesia one's about, Michael.
So this one was funny too, because I definitely this
The artwork's cool. I did look through this.
like this first like page here, this splash page, like the red on black, like the yellow on the blues.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Alex Hutchins says Waxman, aka the pile of dude. Yeah, exactly. So my order of reading basically was like I read our initial four first, because that's the thing is like they're not really connected, they're not really tied together between issue to issue or even within the issue, so you can kind of like read them in any order that you want. But I noticed at that letters column, they talked about how in this issue, issue 16, Amnesia and The Collector were like the two most talked about and like ones that people like the most. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna read these ones and see what I think about these ones, just because I'm curious what people in the '50s thought like was like a really good comic. Amnesia sucked, man. It's this dude like, so it opens off strong. Like, I'll give it to you. Like, I was enjoying it up until the end. This guy is just kind of like aimlessly wandering through a graveyard at night, and he gets struck by lightning.
It was electric.
Like, yeah,
So frightfully hectic.
The music was soothing.
It all sounded grooving.
Yeah. The ambulance
And
takes
the
him
man
off-
in the back said amnesia attack.
and Johnny was the man in the back during the Smash tournament. They take him off to the hospital. They drive him off. They're like, "Oh man, you were struck by lightning. You barely survived. Thankfully, we were able to get to you in time. Oh, by the way, what is your name?" Like, and the guy, thinks long and hard. He's like, I can't remember." The doctor's like, "Oh, he must have amnesia from the lightning strike." So this guy doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know his name, where he lives, what he did. So all he could do is he returns back to the graveyard to try and like look for clues or piece it together. He's like, well, maybe I can understand why I was in this graveyard to begin with. He comes across a key, and he sees on the property a house. And he's like, oh, well, maybe this key will be like the key to my understanding. Like, but there's somebody following him, and it's this creepy looking old dude. So he's like getting spooked out by that, because rightfully so. And he runs further into the mansion. He knocks into a door. There's these like ghoulish old men and women like standing around in cloaks. Like, oh, finally you returned. He's like, returned? Like, I don't know who I am. And they say, who am I? Oh, stop joking, you devil. And he turns into the devil. Like,
That's it, huh?
that's it. What? Like.
That's definitely a story, isn't it? I'm gonna use the bathroom real
And that,
quick.
and that was, and yeah, no, don't worry. I'll hold the reins. Exactly. I could ramble to myself about these ones, but like, what does that mean, Johnny? Like, here, let me. Like, this one at least like looks cool. Like, that's a sweet looking devil face, but like none of it makes sense. They don't really clarify it. They don't really go into it. So I'm like, I don't know. That one didn't really do it for me. Sorry, I'm trying to frame it up on the monitor there. This one. This is yellow. The more that I think about it, probably should be red. I feel like that and Amnesia were ones that like were kind of stupid in a way that I couldn't get behind. So this one's called The Big Fight. We open with our main character in a dressing room. He doesn't know who his opponent is, what he's fighting for, why he's there. Almost like Amnesia. And there's a knock on a door, and it's this guy. His name is Sam Kane. He's like, "Hello, Virgil." Virgil is like the main boxer. Yeah, Alex, and like that's the thing, Alex, is I'm not like necessarily like misremembering or like giving a bad paraphrasing. Like that's exactly what happens, and he finds the key. Shadowy figure following him. We never really explain who this guy is. He says, the others are waiting for him. He just runs up there, and apparently he's just a devil. Like, okay, 1950s. I guess that's a good one. But yeah, so we cut to Virgil the boxer, and this Sam guy is like, hey man, like you're a born fighter. You've got to fight these guys. Here's this this guy that you're this boxing guy that you're going to be fighting against. The referee in this is like some ghoulish old guy that's just like, you guys are fighting for the unknown fate of your life. You don't know what's going to happen when you win or lose, but chances are you don't want to lose. So just fight each other. The bell rings. They begin fighting. In the middle of the fight, they kind of like clinch each other, where they're like holding on to each other, and like in this brief moment, they're kind of like yelling at each other. They're talking to each other like, "Why are we fighting?" Like, I don't know, man, but like one of us has to win, and I'm not going to let you win. So they get to fighting. He almost gets, Virgil almost gets knocked out in the first round. He's taken back to the corner, where that Sam guy kind of like, gives them like a pep talk, and the zombie referee, Johnny, the zombie referee is like, don't forget, you guys are fighting for your unknown fate. So the guy's like, all right, well, like you've got to win. Here's an idea. Try hitting with a couple lefts, and then when you're doing that, cross him with the right. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. They start fighting. They go off. He starts off with a couple lefts. He's punching this dude, and right as he's about to go for the right, Virgil is knocked in the face by this other guy. He gets knocked down for the count. 6, 7, 8.
Couple lefts and a right.
Couple lefts and a right. Thank you, Johnny. That door is about to get knocked out, just like this guy.
By a zombie.
No, the zombie is the referee.
Oh.
Both of them are humans, Johnny. So Virgil gets knocked down for 8, 9, 10. Cut to this emergency room. Oh, he's a beautiful baby. Nurse, will you call my husband? Yeah, he can come in now. Here's your boy, Sam. Let's call him Virgil. A boy, huh? He's a born fighter. I could see that. And I'm always right. Yes, the big fate that all of us have faced and all of us have lost. So this story is an analogy or an allegory for childbirth. Like, Virgil lost this cosmic boxing match with this other guy, and as he lost, his fate is that he has to be born into the real world. Did you make that? Hell yeah. I don't know. That one didn't sit well with me either. I was like, that's kind of a weird twist. I mean, obviously, like the assumption is like, oh, when they lose the fight, you're gonna have to like outfight, because why would I trust a random person? Exactly, yeah. Like, Virgil did the right thing, but apparently in losing the fight, his sufferance is he has to be born now. So I don't know. That one was weird. Bridge was kind of neat. As most of these are, it involves a bunch of criminals. Look at these no good guys. They just robbed a bank. It's 4 dudes. They're gonna have to split the money 4-way. But the head criminal guy here, Morley, is like, yeah, but I'd rather split it 3 ways instead of 4. So they take this Rand guy. They chuck him off the bridge.
Can you quit swearing?
Chuck him.
Christ.
Rand lands into the river. Like, his body is smashed. He just kind of washes up ashore. He can't breathe and he's dying. But later that night, as these guys are meeting up in their lair, in their hideout, a body kind of emerges from the. Or sorry, this was a year later after they broke off with their profits. A year later to the day, Rand kind of emerges from the waters on a revenge mission, as again most of these are, and he is stalking one of the one of his criminal buddies. He corners him in his office, and he's careful, Odom, you're too close to the London Bridge. And this bridge on the shelf behind him,
I read that paper.
It falls down and like knocks him out and kills him. So that was a weird, like, ironic death, but like, okay, that's fine. He gets knocked out by that. 1 year later, the grave is silent, but he emerges once again to hunt down the second of the 3 cohorts. He traps him. He corners him onto the docks. The guy's like, I'm not afraid of no ghost. Takes out a knife, lunges at him, but he's a ghost, so he goes right through him and lands on his own dagger in the middle of the this wharf here on the docks, and so that's 2 of the 3 dead. And 1 more year later, Enos Morley is, I guess, flying in an airplane for some reason. They don't really get into that. Enos the pilot is flying through this, through the city, but it's dark and it's foggy out here. And if he's not careful, I'll hit the bridge. Uh-oh. Fate has a funny way, because he smashes into the bridge. He's taking on water. He can't really swim. He's drowning, and his drowned corpse washes up on the same kind of little surface where I was about to say our hero, but he's not even a hero because he was a thief to begin with, where Rand had died, 3 years ago to the day. So, some kind of
Spooky shit there, Mikey.
exactly, yeah, just language, Johnny, but yeah.
Shit's fine.
I'll let you take your seat.
There
Oh,
you go.
you know who says thieves can't be heroes?
Who?
Charlie in the chat.
Chuck. Dude. Where the hell have you been? Because Mike's been swearing your name up all chat. You can go back and watch. I've defended you every time.
He has. I haven't, though. I haven't been saying anything bad, but every time I said chucked.
Or chuckle. You said another
I said
one.
chuckle, yeah, Chuck L.
Hey, man. Anything for you, buddy.
Oh, Alex in the chat. Man, we got the gang here for, so the collector. This was also the one that, in issue 19, in the letters column, they talked up, like, everybody loved the collector. So I'm like, all right, well, this is the one that I've got to read and I've got to find out. And I got to be honest, it's actually pretty neat, Johnny. So we've got Thaddeus. He's a, like, world-renowned hunter. He's got all these exotic and erotic animals that he's killed and stuffed. He's like, I stuffed them, I hunted them, I taxidermied them myself. But you know, the thrill of it is gone because like I've got like all the exotic animals that exist. Like there's nothing more for him to hunt. So he's just reading the newspaper one day and he finds out it's like, you know, in the Amazon there's this new species that has been spotted. He's like, well, it's probably just you know, local hoax or you know, people are just seeing what they want to see. Thank you, Alex. Much appreciated. Happy to entertain you with these classic comics, my man. So he goes to the Amazon himself. He's like, all right, well, worst case, you know, I'll just kind of see what's going on down there. And he sees this pool, and this pool of water is like moving on its own in like in a unnatural way. It's giving off weird reflections, and a bird kind of swoops a little too low to it and like drops into the water for a brief second and flies out. But then like moments later, this like disgusting like mockery of a bird flies out after it and he's like, oh weird, this must be like a primordial pool of life that creates life. Whatever touches it spawns like a new form of life from it. So he's like, oh, that's pretty neat. Maybe I'll kind of come back here if you want to flip the page. It is, and it's a good way to describe what's happening there. So he takes this deer, he chucks it into the water, and moments, you know, it scampers off, and then moments later, like, the kind of, like, shadow version of that deer emerges, and he just, you know, spawn camping, he just, like, shoots it right when it gets out of there, and he's like, oh, man, look at this weird creature that I've hunted, and he's like, oh, well, now I'm gonna be, like, have, like, the most impressive collection of animals, because now I've got these animals that, like, almost don't even exist. So here, let me pop this image up here, because we get to see, like, the other animals that he's killed. That like big-eyed rhino, that like blue tiger or green tiger. I don't know what's going on there. But he's got these like weird. Thaddeus basically invents. I don't know if you've ever heard of the concept of it, but rogue taxidermy, Johnny. Do you know what a jackalope is, or have you seen a jackalope?
Heard of it.
Heard of it? Yeah, it's basically like a rabbit with like deer antlers on it. Like you've probably seen like people will have, you know, like a wall-mounted version of a jackalope. It's kind of like a kitschy little, you know, decoration they could have. Yes, sorry.
Can I guess what the next page? I have not read this. Can I guess what the next page is? Is the creature that came out gonna get him and put his head on his wall?
So a jackalope is a rabbit that has deer antlers on it. These guys that created it, they basically like did it as like a fun gag. It's based off of apparently in nature, like there's this kind of illness that rabbits can get where like it kind of creates like these horns and tusks like on their heads. So like in nature, like this like mutation will create them to like look like, you know, these jackalope creatures. So these guys like made that after that. So like the idea of rogue taxidermy is you kind of splice animals together like and make a taxidermy that looks like a creature that doesn't really exist. So that was cool because like our boy Thaddeus is like naturally doing that. Next day he falls in the pool. His shadow version comes out of the pool, chases him, hunts him down because he's like him in all ways, even, you know, down to the fact of like he wants to hunt creatures. So he kind of corners him and hunts him down, and Johnny, only one could survive. Let me just let me just
Saw that one coming.
Still
okay.
good though, Johnny.
Yeah, it's all right.
It was actually kind of neat. But yeah, what a fool. Plot twist. Oh, Johnny, these are so good.
I'm glad you like them, man. They're all right. I actually didn't hate them.
No, I know that like I'm weird and like I said, like most of those are green because of like some small Hell yeah! Wait, can you go back to the weightlifting ads? So a lot of these ads, like the reproductions are actually pretty good quality, where you can just like sit there and read them, as I was wont to do. Reading this dude, I forget his name. They have it there, but like here's my
George Jowett or something.
yeah, Jowett or something. Are you tired of being a skinny, dweeb that everybody makes fun of? Here's like the sweet like before and after pictures of these dudes. I now have like 17-inch Jack-o'-lantern basically. So I wish I had a dollar to send to that guy and find out how I could get 53 pounds of muscle. But unfortunately, I'm sure that address doesn't really. They can't help me anymore, so I'm stuck here. That doesn't look healthy. I don't know, Alex. He looks like the peak of 17-inch pythons, Charlie.
There's a lot going on.
They talk about the biceps, and it's like, I went from like, a scrawny man to now I've got 17-inch muscle.
Spindle-armed sissy. Below was me a few
exactly.
short
Like,
weeks
look at that
ago.
kid. And this kid, like, fun fact, he's like 12 years old or whatever too. So, you may not like it, but this is what peak physical performance looks like.
1954.
Mm-hmm. Haircut was. Dude just like goes in
Sweeney Todd
goes to get a haircut. It's exactly that.
Revenge on his sister or something. I read
Yes,
the last
exactly.
page.
Yeah. This like rich old dude goes in to get a haircut and decides that's a good point to talk about like how he defrauded this lady like years ago and like took her for all of her money, and it turns out the barber is that lady's sister, or that lady's brother, and he just like slits his throat in the barber chair. It's pretty cool, but.
Sweeney Todd.
Johnny, you tell the people why you didn't like these, and I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Well, I didn't not like
no,
it.
I know.
It's just not my style. I did think the artwork's cool and the reproduction was awesome, but it's just with stuff like this, I just like, I like superheroes. Like what is my least favorite comic of all time? Tom King's Mr. Miracle that we read here. I fucking hated that. It was awful. I would not recommend that to anybody. I will never read anything else Tom King has written because of how much I hated that. Mr. Miracle by Tom King. Absolute dog shit book. Hated it. Love the stories of Macabre. I don't know what that means. Explain. What's your least favorite comic of all time? You know what I used to like? What this reminded me of more or less? This kind of reminded me of like the Sunday Funnies. Like obviously they're a little longer, but like kind of just these little short snippets. Don King. I'm gonna Google that. No, I'll Google it after. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, man. I wish, like I was saying earlier, all the other books were like this in the reproduction value. Like they're pretty sweet. Let's see. This is the one Mike was just talking about. This is where the dude gets killed. Yeah, I don't know. They're just okay. What's a Macabre in Don King?
Macabre.
What are we talking about?
Don King was
Mike Tyson's.
Yeah.
Okay. But what is the Macabre thing? What's that?
Macabre. It's like ghoulish, creepy, scary, spooky. Least favorite comic of all time. Alex, that is probably what we read last week.
No, I said Tom King's Vision.
That's true. Yeah.
That was just so
Marvel
awful.
Zombies was rough. Yeah, the Tom King Vision was.
This was at least quick.
Yeah, this was 3 issues.
That was so
Tom King Visions is 12, and they are all kind of slow and plotting. Like in the same way that these ones are kind of text heavy at times. Like they actually move though. Like it doesn't feel like you're like at a slog, like slow pace, like going through them. Like they move pretty quickly, even for having like a pretty good amount of text on them. Whereas like Tom King's, it's just pretentious and overly wordy, and I don't know, hipstery, if that makes sense. Marvel Zombies, also a lot of text at certain times, but it does drag on, like, far better. The Amnesia one, Alex, was also pretty rough. Like, the story didn't make any sense. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, you were the devil all along. Oh, okay, if you say so, comics. But yeah, that's probably does it for the recap.
It was good. I'd give it a 7 or 8 out of 10, something like that.
9 out of 10.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, I know.
8 out of 10. I give it an 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8 to 9 out of 10. All right, Alex, thanks for coming on by. We're about to wrap it up real quick. We're probably just gonna talk about what we're gonna be reading next week
So excited.
for next Thursday. It's all been leading to this, Johnny. Hopefully we haven't lost it.
Hopefully I don't have to get up.
All right, so previous week we read Marvel Zombies. This week's was Chamber of Chills, number 19. Have a go, man. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Wabam.
The Long Halloween by Batman.
Johnny, it's almost Halloween. And you know what that means.
We gotta read a Halloween book and
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
do.
dress up.
Oh, yes. Spoilers. We will be dressed up next Thursday for the Halloween stream.
100%.
So you're going to want to stop in for, if nothing else. Exactly, yeah, Charlie. We'll have that playing in the background. Honestly, we could have it playing over the speakers at the store. So you're just going to have to, we're going to have to, talk over that. But yeah, this one is a classic. Johnny, you said you've read it, or you haven't read it? Yeah, okay. So Johnny hasn't read it. I have. It is a classic one, and it leads into, what is it?
Dark Victory.
Dark Victory, yep. Long Halloween. I thought there was one other one, too.
Haunted Night.
Haunted Night, yep. But yeah, it is a classic, one of the best. And it follows up, basically, Batman Year 1, correct? That's what they...
Yeah,
That's
this is supposed to be like
yeah.
Batman Year 2, kind of.
So we're going to read that. Very fitting. A little bit of a longer one.
Long
Pun
Halloween.
intended, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I definitely look forward to it.
Looks like it'll move.
I haven't read it since I was like 15 or 16, as with most of these. So getting back to reappreciate, especially after we've gone through and reread a lot of the classic Batman ones already, like Year 1, Dark Knight Returns,
The Cult.
The Cult. Oh man. Charlie,
Ninja
don't talk
Turtles.
about that. That's a secret. Nobody's allowed to look at the calendar.
Wait, when's
because-
Ninja Turtles again?
I don't know if it's that.
Probably the 19th. I bet that would make sense. No, I think he's talking
Yeah,
about
exactly.
that.
Yeah. There's a reason that we moved the date to the Thursday, and that was definitely that was my main reason for it, to tie in for not this week or this following week, but the following one after that. We might already have a comic picked for that, so we'll see. But yeah, this week we'll be reading Batman: The Long Halloween. I look forward to kind of revisiting that one. Johnny gets to visit it for the first time, his first Halloween, and I look forward to dressing up next Thursday, Johnny.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And I'm really stoked to read this.
It'll be
Actually,
interesting, yeah. No Haunted Night. No, I mean, maybe next year, Alex.
maybe next.
I was gonna say, this is a longer one. If you want to read it as an extra credit, feel free. Because I mean, yeah, they do kind of tie in. It's the trilogy of
That's true.
Long Halloween, Haunted Night, and Dark Victory. But yeah, we're just gonna be reading this one and chatting about it. So I think it'll be a good kind of cap off to the Halloween books. They've been solid so far. Smashed, Chamber of Chills, Long Halloween. This one we could kind of forget about. Man, Marvel really phoned it in, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty awful.
Doc, you got any suggestions for Marvel Halloween or horror-based ones? Those things, I couldn't really think of any offhand, and every website or article that I'd find, this was always on there and pretty high up there too, if not constantly number one. So we had to kind of read it out of curiosity and all right, well, if this is the one that people are pointing to the most, let's check it out.
It was bullshit.
Wild. I don't like it at all. Except for the razzing potential. That was a fun stream just to razz on it, but especially that ending, man, the more I think about it again.
It was garbage ending.
Yeah, that's the thing, Charlie, is they have a bunch of yeah, I mean, yeah, it's zombies to the point where we talked about how yeah, manga, what if it cuts to next Thursday, Johnny and I are here dressed up, and we just put Long Halloween on the table, slide it off, and just start re-reviewing Marvel Zombies. On second reading, not that bad. The fact where they're eating T'Challa alive was impactful. The jokes they have were funny, and the art looked good.
Dude, I can't wait to fucking read this.
Start right now. Page
I'm
1.
about to.
Oh man, are we
One.
gonna have to start teasing?
I
these
believe in
things?
Gotham City. I believe in Gotham City.
All right, so there's my opening quote for next week. I believe in Gotham City.
Whoa.
It did
Spoilers
from
like
the,
a mother.
from the jump. Yeah, you all saw that. There was
Shut up.
a tub with blood. Whose blood? Whose tub?
Are you calling somebody fat?
That is how The Godfather starts.
I believe in Gotham City. You're right.
There's a horse head in his tub that he's bathing in. So I think that just about does it for us, Johnny.
Yes.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Next Tuesday, you better chime in because it's reviews,
There it
previews,
is.
buddy.
Reviews, previews.
There's a previews, reviews.
Previews.
What is it? Which one is it? I really don't know.
What?
Is it reviews, previews, or previews, reviews?
Oh crap! What is it? We have to look at the previous stream. I forget what I called it. Both of them are good. All right, you tell us in the chat. Previews, review. No, it's previews, reviews.
Yeah.
Why was I saying reviews, previews? I'm just
Kind of comes off the tongue easier, to be honest.
It feels right, but it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like
Like
so many
most good things in this world.
Hell yeah.
On that note, see you Tuesday. You better join. I swear to God. All right, that's all I got.
It's the most hype Johnny gets when he's not beating X-Men live on stream.
It's true. So,
Jared, it's probably gonna be so good I might stand up and turn around again.
Jared, you should really come. It is the most fun of the month. Like you should come. We get it once a month.
Mongo, you were there last time, I thought. Am I crazy? Mongo's swung by a lot of our chats here and there. I forget if he was there for that one, but yeah, it's you're gonna have to tune in to find out. And then P reviews. See, we can't have the P reviews. P reviews is a different stream. Emphasis on stream, Doc. Johnny's just loving it.
Yeah. All right. Let's tune out.
Mongo normally shows for things. All right.
Wait, that's Mongo?
Yeah, he's just in YouTube just because he mentioned
YouTube porn.
the stream crashed.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
thought you were a different dude.
No, that's our boy.
You are our boy. Thank you for showing
Yeah,
up.
Mongo is right up there. Like I said, Mongo is first choice for replacement of Johnny after what was it, Garzan style. Johnny breaks.
No, I'm gonna kill Mike and become the new Mike, and you can become the new Johnny. We'll Pinky and Brain this shit up.
That's Everybody moves up. Everybody moves up.
Dr. Zero, you better be here Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, Doc, we need you. We need you looking at these reviews. Hell yeah, that's the thing. Is like there's new stuff. There might be some new Metal Gear Solid statues. I don't know. Like we've seen.
I know there's new omnibuses in there, and I know which ones they're gonna be.
Yeah,
because I already got a preview of the previews.
A lot of cool stuff. Yeah, there's gonna be stuff for Mongo. I'm sure there's California-based comics and statues and toys that we could look at. Charlie, there's probably gonna be a Highlander statue too. A Highlander replica katana that could cut through the concrete of the parking garage that you're in. Hell yeah, there it is. So that's 3 confirmations. If any one of you are slipping, we'll know. But yeah, that just about does it for this week. We'll be back next Tuesday with the previews, reviews, or the reviews, previews. It's regional.
And then the next Thursday we'll have the Long Halloween.
That's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good week next week. And like I said, we're gonna be dressing up on Thursday, so be sure to tune in for that.
All right. See you later.
All right. Have a good rest of your week. We'll see you next Tuesday. And remember, not all heroes wear capes.